When a man finally stops chasing, something inside her world quietly shifts. The balance she once relied on changes, and suddenly, control no longer sits comfortably in her hands. She begins to recognize the things she never noticed before, the effort she assumed would always be there, the presence she believed was guaranteed. And when that realization hits, her response tells you everything. Are you ready to understand what truly happens when you choose yourself, when you step back and allow her to feel the weight of your absence? Stay with me, because this truth changes how you see women, relationships, and yourself as a man. This is the reality few people are willing to say out loud. The moment you stop chasing, the moment you pull your energy inward and refocus on your own life, she feels it. And it's not just that you're gone. What she feels most is the loss of influence she once had over you. Modern relationships exist on a fragile balance of power. When you decide that your self-respect matters more than her validation, that balance begins to tilt. Women instinctively respond to that shift. They feel the missing attention, question their behavior, and reassess the dynamic. Today, we're breaking down what happens psychologically when you reclaim your power, how she reacts emotionally, and how you rise above confusion, drama, and games. If you're ready to stop chasing, start leading, and finally command the respect you deserve, stay with me. Number 1. The shift in dynamics. The instant you stop chasing, when you redirect your focus back to yourself, the entire dynamic changes in ways most men never anticipate. This isn't just about her feelings shifting, it's about control changing hands, it's about power realigning, and it's about how you begin to see yourself differently. In a world where attention is cheap and validation is endless, this shift carries more weight than ever. Every man needs to understand this because it separates those who are overlooked from those who are respected. Most men live in a cycle they don't even recognize. They believe relationships require constant effort, always texting first, always calling, always planning, always trying to keep her interested. But here's the hard truth. The more you give, the less it's valued. It's uncomfortable, but it's real. People rarely respect what comes without effort. They value what feels earned, what feels rare, what feels like it could disappear. If you've spent years chasing, you already know the cost. You feel drained, you feel underappreciated, sometimes you feel invisible. That's not because you lack value, it's because you've been approaching the dynamic from the wrong position. Women are naturally inclined to test strength, not out of cruelty, but instinct. They want to know whether a man stands firm or folds the moment pressure appears. When you're always available, always chasing, always adjusting yourself for her comfort, you fail that test without even realizing it. Without words, you communicate that her value outweighs your own. And once that belief settles in, respect begins to fade. She won't announce it, she won't explain it, but her behavior will change. She becomes less invested, more distracted, more distant. Your effort becomes expected instead of appreciated. But the moment you stop, everything shifts. At first, she may not even notice. She's used to your consistency, your pursuit, your presence. But as hours turn into days and days into weeks, the absence grows louder. Not just physically, emotionally, psychologically. She begins to wonder why your attention is no longer there, why you're no longer chasing, why your energy feels unreachable. This is where the real transformation begins. Women are drawn to mystery. The moment you become predictable, the intrigue fades. But when you step back, when you create space, mystery returns. She replays conversations, rereads messages, and searches for meaning in your silence. This isn't manipulation, it's balance being restored. For the first time, she feels the weight of your absence instead of the comfort of your effort. Number 2, her emotional reactions. When you pull back and stop chasing, her emotional landscape changes. Whether she shows it or not, the impact runs deep. Women are far more sensitive to shifts in energy and power than most men realize. The moment your attention disappears, it disrupts her sense of control. She may act unaffected, she may remain quiet, but that calm exterior is misleading. The ripple begins immediately. Women are accustomed to being pursued. Attention has always surrounded them. Messages, compliments, interest from every direction. Most men are eager, reactive, and easily pulled back in. She knows this. But when you step out of that pattern, you stand apart. And what she notices isn't just that you're gone, it's the void you leave behind. The first emotion she feels is confusion. Why did you stop? Why aren't you checking in? Why aren't you reacting the way you used to? This breaks her expectations, and curiosity takes over. That curiosity turns inward. She starts reflecting. Did she push too far? Did she overlook your value? Did you move on? And reflection leads to realization. She begins to see moments she dismissed, effort she assumed, energy she took for granted. And slowly, the power shifts again. You're no longer the man pursuing her. You're the man she fears losing. Fear of loss is deeply human, and it hits hardest when something rare slips away. A man who values himself, who can walk away, who doesn't beg for attention, that man is uncommon, and she knows it. Her reactions vary, but they all reveal something important. Some women go silent, pretending not to care. This silence is rarely indifference, it's a test. She's waiting to see if you'll break first. Others reach out casually, a simple message, a subtle question. These aren't random, they're attempts to measure whether she still holds influence. Some try indirect routes, social media posts, images meant to provoke a reaction, quotes meant to stir emotion. These are signals, not accidents. But the moment you react emotionally, the moment you reveal that her behavior still controls you, the power shifts back. The most revealing response, however, is effort. When a woman senses she's losing you, she tries harder, she initiates, she engages, she becomes more attentive, more affectionate, more present. This effort isn't just about connection, it's about regaining value she once assumed was guaranteed. Scarcity changes perception. What was once abundant becomes desirable. Your attention, once freely given, now carries weight. But remember this, her emotions are not your responsibility. They reflect the shift you created by valuing yourself. Your role is not to manage her reactions, but to stay grounded and focused on your path. By stepping back, you forced a new perspective, not as a man who chases, but as a man worth chasing. Number 3. Staying composed. Composure is the defining trait of a man who commands respect. It separates leaders from followers, grounded men from reactive ones. In modern relationships, emotional tests are inevitable. Women test not to destroy, but to understand strength. When she pushes, withdraws, or provokes, she's observing how you respond. Men who react emotionally confirm insecurity. Men who remain steady demonstrate control. Staying composed doesn't mean being cold. It means being unshaken, calm, centered. When accusations come, you don't panic. When silence appears, you don't chase. When tension rises, you don't crumble. That steadiness signals maturity, self-respect, and strength. A composed man doesn't explain himself unnecessarily. He doesn't beg for understanding. He doesn't lose control. And that presence changes how she sees you. Women are drawn to stability. When you remain calm while others react, you become the anchor. The contrast is powerful. Composure isn't just for relationships. It reflects how you handle life, pressure, conflict, setbacks. A man who stays composed everywhere builds respect everywhere. You are not the storm, you are the ground beneath it. Number 4, handling the shift. When the dynamic flips and she begins chasing, many men lose balance. They overreact. They relapse into old habits. They give away the power they work to reclaim. But mastery means restraint. Her renewed interest doesn't automatically mean change. Emotion can drive behavior temporarily. Your role is to observe intention, not chase attention. Ask yourself honestly, does she align with your values? Does she bring peace or drain energy? Does she respect boundaries? If you allow her back, the dynamic must change. Effort must be mutual, respect must be consistent, standards must remain firm. If she slips back into old behavior, you must be willing to walk away again. Power is maintained through consistency, not emotion. And if she isn't aligned with the man you're becoming, let her go without bitterness. Walking away is strength, not loss. Number 5. Focused detachment. At the center of all this lies one truth. Your power comes from detachment, not indifference, control. Focused detachment means prioritizing your growth, your peace, and your purpose. It means no longer outsourcing your worth. When you detach, validation loses its grip. Confidence grows internally. You stop chasing approval and start building a life. Detachment doesn't eliminate care, it refines it. You give from strength, not need. You love without losing yourself. This balance separates strong men from desperate ones. When you master detachment, you communicate one message clearly: I am enough. And that truth reshapes everything. The right people are drawn in, the wrong ones fall away, and you finally live on your own terms, grounded, focused, and free. If this message resonated with you, reflect on it. Growth begins with awareness. Choose yourself, and everything else aligns.